It's currently 51 degrees in here, and I need to put that in this so that I get the hovercraft in here and get working on it. But to do that, I'd prefer to be comfortable. And it's only going to get colder over the next couple months. So I bought something that's going to keep me warm and make this garage much more comfortable to work in. Let's check it out. This is an Hcalory Toolbox diesel heater. I picked it up on Walmart.com for 120 bucks because it was pretty close to the cheapest one, and also gave me the best shipping out of between Walmart, which I don't pay for, and Amazon Prime. I was able to get this like a week faster. So the weird thing was it wasn't sold as an Hcalory. It was sold as an Andew, and in all the photos, the Hcalory logo was removed from the unit. But as you can see, it did come in a bigger Walmart box, and it is an Hcalory box. The other weird thing, the video on Walmart's website was the Hcalory video. So let's see what we have here. A few things that let's just say there were some complaints about what was missing. So we do have a nice thick user's manual. That's good. I think what's in here is what the complaints were. Hoping mine is not missing what. All right, so what's in the box? Got the muffler. We've got a wiring extension loom. This exhaust pipe is what everyone said was missing from their unit. But so luckily this unit does include the exhaust pipe. So this is the plug for it. So this will plug into the side of the unit, and this can plug into 12-volt battery. I do have a 12-volt battery I can test it with. Not for today's video, but I will at another time. I've got the vent end, some clamps, and then this should be the AC power. It says US on it, so yep. So I can plug this into the wall. So same plug as this one here. And one of the complaints about some of these units is it's always very similar to computer cord, like the very standard one. This is not. So it's a little more boxy, a little more square. So you can't just plug in a random computer cord and get 110 volts straight out of it without the inverter. So that's good. So that's what's in the box. But what else? Well, let's look at the unit before I show you what else I bought for my install. So here's the Hcalory unit. Let me bring you in here and take a look. Well, this is my first look at the unit, and I'm doing it with you. So here's the plug that I talked about. So this is where the power is going to come into the unit. Here's a fan. I believe that fan is for pulling air into the unit. Here is the exhaust. A lot of people said they like this exhaust because it comes out of the bottom in a very neat way. So you don't need to worry about it being elevated if you don't want it to be elevated. Before I open it, we've got a control unit here. And another complaint here is just that it's in this really nice toolbox, and the toolbox is very protected. Obviously not the side vent here, but this is not protected from the elements, and it does not look waterproof, but it's going to be inside in my case. Then we've got a fill level for the fuel. So let's open it up here. Oh. There is, keep going. There is our remote control. So I'll be able to turn it on and off with the remote control. That's cool. And then on this side, looks like you got the fuel pump, the Hcalory diesel heating unit itself, and then fuel tank has a strainer in it, and there's the fuel tank, all combined into one unit. Now, one of the longer cables is actually for this control unit. So if you let me close it up here. So if you did install this outside, you have an extension for this keypad so you can see what's going on. But they even put a sticker on here that says Toolbox. That's a $high addition right there. But yeah, it looks good. One item here that is, I noticed this intake. Yeah, that was not so nicely crammed in there was this intake. So I guess you could leave it where it was. Or you can pull it out. So I don't know, maybe I'll put it back there. I'm thinking it's going to be better to just keep it in there, and then as the air is pulled in from here, it'll just pull it in and it'll be just fine. But again, you could put an extension on this and run it outside if you want to pull in fresh air from the outside and then exhaust, obviously not close to your intake. Well, I only bought a few extra things. I did buy this extension exhaust pipe. Maybe I'll make a heat exchanger out of an ammo can using this and a small fan, but the review said it didn't have that, but as you saw, it's in the box. So I don't need that for this installation. And then I have, this is a boat exhaust through hull, and I'll link everything in the description if you want to use it, but this boat exhaust through hull, and this is some heat insulation. So it says it's a ceramic fiber insulation blanket that withstands direct flame and continuous heat up to 2,700 degrees Fahrenheit. So just gonna need to use a little bit of this, and you'll see where I use that at. And there's one more thing I need that I have already here in the garage, and I'll show you that here in 1 second. And that other thing I need is just this piece of sheet metal that I have left over from the DIY install on my Mr. Cool air conditioner. So let me show you where I'm gonna put this. I think the most interesting part about this build is gonna be how I run the exhaust and keep the unit here in the garage. As you can see here, this is our side exit door to the garage. We never use it. In fact, for a long period of time, it's actually blocked off completely. What we do have here is a 4-inch, just a very simple dryer exhaust. And I installed this exhaust because in the summertime, I like to run that push around AC to help drop the temps in here a little bit. So right now, the plan is to do the exact opposite of that and actually bring the temps up. So my plan is to install this through hull exhaust right there. And what I'm going to do is simply build 2 square pieces of the sheet metal there, and then the through hole is going to screw into the sheet metal since the hole is a little bit larger than our through hole. And then just like this, we're just going to have 4 simple screws holding it in place, one on the outside and one on the inside. And then in the middle, just a little bit of this ceramic insulation blanket to protect the inside foam of the door so that doesn't catch on fire and burn the house down. All right, now the one issue that I don't like that we have is that with this, obviously, we're going to be able to connect the muffler, to the exhaust pipe to it. That'll hook to the toolbox, but the muffler is the same size as everything else. And I thought about making a exhaust pipe that goes up, but I don't think that's necessary. So what I'm going to do is take this extra pipe that I bought, and it's got some very long ends here, and I'm going to cut off just enough to go into here and then have enough to put a clamp on to my exhaust. So I'm going to do that now. Now it does have a rough edge. I don't plan on cleaning it up very much because I'm going to use that rough edge as leverage to go into the through hole, and hopefully this rough edge helps jam it on there, because it's not, there's no way to get a, there we go, it's pretty tight. That's all I wanted, because there's no way to get a clamp down in there, not in any meaningful way. So there's no direction in or out. Looks like it's literally, you can see straight through it, and there's a spring in there. So how much muffling it does, I don't know, but well, that's the install. I'm pretty happy with that. I'm very glad that I bought that extra exhaust pipe, because this little one, this thing would be right next to the door, and that wouldn't be good. So yeah, this is what where we're at. It's connected good down there, connected up there, and outside. So it's not as cold in here anymore. It's 55 degrees in here, so it's a little nicer. It's supposed to drop here pretty soon. In the mornings, it's closer to 38 degrees, 40 degrees. So I'm gonna go get some diesel fuel, fill this up, and then come out here in one of the mornings when it's nice and cold, and see how long it takes to warm this place up. For now, that's the install. I might get maybe some exhaust tape, some muffler tape to put around there, but I'll make sure that there's no carbon monoxide in here and it doesn't leak. Yeah, easy setup so far. Just having the right drill bits and the right hole saws to cut those holes. That was the biggest thing. Some of my tools need to be replaced, but otherwise it worked out pretty well. These clamps that go along everything are not, they're very, very not good. So they work, but you know, they could be much better. All right, well, that's what we look like. So I just powered it on, and we're at 13 volts. Obviously the time needs to be set, but I'm gonna power it on. It does have a remote control. Let's go through some settings here. I just hold down the gear button and it turns on. So I'm just gonna let it run. Right now it is, it's like 48 degrees outside, 53. This bottom number is what's inside. Oh, there's a couple of sensors over there in a box, but 53 degrees in here. So hopefully, I'm gonna set it over here by the toolbox, and we'll see if I can't take this jacket off while I do some other stuff around here. So see how long it takes. It's currently 11:20. And while this thing does get hot, I think someone else showed online it takes like 7 minutes to actually get pretty warm. So I moved the muffler inside because I didn't like it sticking out the other side of the wall next to the neighbors. So muffler's inside. I moved the hose reel out there so there's no hot air blowing on anything out there. And we'll let this warm up. Quick update. It's actually been a couple hours working on some other projects over here. 58 degrees is what we're up to. And I've shed the coat. The chill came off in here pretty quick. I wish I had my digital thermometer. I have one, but whenever I need it, I can't find it. And guess what? I need it. So it's around here somewhere, but this is nice hot air coming out of here. Keeping this garage good. What I did find is that I had to hit the power button, hold it down for a second, and then it came on and actually took a few minutes, I think, to get diesel in there, but I don't know if you can hear it. I can't hear any ticking, none whatsoever. So I just hear, it sounds like a furnace. So you got the hum of the furnace, and in like 2 hours it's used just a little bit of fuel there. So yeah, feels pretty good. So I'm pretty pleased with this little Hcalory, even though You know, it didn't say Hcalory on the Walmart branding, but yeah, Walmart got it here the fastest, and I think it was a little bit cheaper. But you can find these if you got no rush on them. They're all the same. They may actually be Hcalory, but this one's working great. When it does get colder here in a few days, maybe I'll make a short on how it actually does in this garage when it drops down below freezing. But I'm pretty happy with it, and I'm glad I bought it. So if you want one, pretty easy to find. I'll put a link in the description to this one and one on Amazon. And then if you need one, buy one. But thanks for watching, guys. Like, subscribe, click the bell, and I'll catch you on the next one.